So, good evening. We're going to start a new series called How to Use Various Functions in R. So, there are a lot of functions that we're going to use, but we're going to take them step by step. They're like a bajillion. So, we're going to tackle the ones that are most common. First, we're going to deal with the filter function. The first thing we're going to do, as we usually do, is load up our library. So, we'll load up the library called Tidyverse. Press Control Enter, and that loads our data. The next thing you're going to do, however, is copy down this. You're going to copy down this data. So it's a small table of IDs from 1 to 5, ages from 25 up until 31, diagnoses from malaria up to for the 5 different patients, and there are various blood pressures. So this is just a small data set of various patients' data. So what we're going to do is filter out this data for the particular functions that we want. So for example, we're going to say data, Control Shift M. Remember we talked about that last time, and then we'll say filter, and then in the filter we'll say diag. You see the diagnosis thing. You see the diagnosis in the data column. So we'll say diagnosis double equals, and then we'll say in double quotes, and then we'll say malaria. So malaria comes out as a table down here. So you see there's IDs 1, 3, and 5. They were all malaria patients. Therefore, we have just filtered out for those particular patients. One other thing you might want to do is you might want to filter out for more than one variable. So for example, let's say study cohort. We'll create a new variable and call it study cohort, and then we'll say data, and then we'll say is filter out for 2 things. The first thing we're going to filter out for is the diagnosis. Again, please keep in mind that R is super case sensitive, so make sure you don't write as lowercase m or something. So we're going to say age is greater than or equal to 18, and then we'll say Control Enter, and it loads up down here. So what we do is now we just say view study cohort, which is our new variable. So we'll say study cohort and say Control Enter, and it shows up here. So these are 2 patients. Both of them have malaria, but both of them are also above 18. And that's essentially how you use the filter function.